There was communication between the Los Angeles Clippers and the Minnesota Timberwolves for a trade to take place, with Karl-Anthony Towns and Blake Griffen being the main cogs in that deal. And here we go, via Basketball Insiders. The Clippers proposed a blockbuster deal to the T-Wolves. Blake, KAT, league sources told us, Basketball Insiders. The trade proposal didn't advance past an exploratory call from the Clippers as Minnesota declined, league sources told Basketball Insiders. The proposed deal wouldn't seem to make a lot of sense for the Timberwolves, says Adam Wells of Bleacher Report. Towns has 2 more years on his rookie contract with a $6.2 million salary this season, $7.8 million in 2018-2019.
Ricky, this is what you didn't get. You didn't get this in the quote. The Timberwolves, when they turned down the deal over the just exploratory calls, I got the quote. The front office said, "Get the fuck out of here." And I quote.
As well as they should. I can't believe this is actually like a discussion. Who would you rather have? Who would you rather have? This is coming from
like as the Timberwolves or as the Clippers?
No, as a basketball fan. If you had to pick right now, gun to your head, hey, you got to pick Blake Griffen or Karl-Anthony Towns. Which one is it?
You got to pick Karl-Anthony Towns.
Of course you do.
Although I love Blake Griffen, but you have to pick him. He's younger. Hasn't been through multiple severe injuries, and you still have a lot to work with. Come on.
Maybe if you put Milos in there.
Yeah.
Milos Teodosic.
Teodosic.
So I like Blake Griffen. Okay.
Yeah.
I think the best thing to ever happen to Blake Griffen were 2 things: getting his knees fully healthy, like not having Brandon Roy syndrome. The second was David Stern being like, yeah, the Lakers getting Chris Paul. let's calm down our tits for a second. Let's send him to the other team in LA. And that was one of the best things that happened to him because he got to develop his game and learn from one of the best point guards, even if there is this weird animosity between the two. If I am LA, of course I do this. If I'm Minnesota, no friggin' chance. Because you have one of the best young centers, and man, do we have a huge influx of star young centers in the NBA right now, which is, it's weird to say.
Not like, when there was an influx of star centers back in the 80s and 90s, it's
a different
old school prototypical style centers, the Shaqs, the Olajuwons, the Ewings and all that. And now they're just different.
A lot of these guys aren't back to the baskets. Like Joel Embiid is back to the basket. Porzingis
no, they're not. But they can do a lot of stuff. Embiid's got a 3-point shot.
They all do.
It's amazing.
All of them do. KAT's hitting threes now.
Yeah.
So if you're the Timberwolves, you look at this and you're like, okay, how can Blake Griffen help us? Let's see. So he's gonna get paid was it 170? I think he's looking at.
Is he?
$170 million contract, something like that. KAT will probably get that when he's a free agent. However, you have an MVP candidate in Jimmy Butler. Once Jeff Teague is healthy, as long as he stops shooting threes, he's a competent point guard to run that team, because my God, he's hitting front rim after front rim. Andrew Wiggins is a really nice player, and you got Karl-Anthony Towns. How would Blake Griffen fit in, though, if he were traded to Minnesota? It's a ball-dominant guy. Karl-Anthony Towns doesn't seem as ball-dominant as Blake Griffen.
It sticks more with Blake. The ball sticks a little bit more.
Yeah.
So when you have this many guys who can score, he's gonna have to take a back seat, not back seat, but just more of a secondary role and let other things happen and let it come to him rather than it be given to him. It doesn't fit.
Could him and Jimmy Butler play together?
Sure.
They're both ball dominant.
But they can. There's guys. It worked. Like I said, when you said CP3 going to LA, it worked.
Yeah.
Because he's ball dominant, but not stick to him ball dominant. Like when he's got the ball, everyone has a chance to get a shot.
Right.
Eventually.
Right.
So, when you got other guys who are looking to score, the mindset of Blake Griffen has to change. Again, who knows that he has it in him? We only know who he's been with the Clippers. Maybe he can be something else with someone else.
All right, lastly, as you are the Clippers guy here, not like Clipper Daryl, but you're the Clipper guy. Should they trade Blake Griffen and get something in return? Or should they just make him?
It depends on who it is.
Keep
him
as the face of the franchise is what I was
if Minnesota was gonna pull the trigger, you do that one.
Oh, of course, but they're not.
It depends. You don't get rid of him for the sake of getting rid of him. Because Dan would be like, they need to just send him out and who cares? Put him out on the street. I don't give a shit. That's the way Dan feels about it.
Should they trade Blake Griffen to the Cleveland Cavaliers for Tristan Thompson and 2 first-round picks? Because if you think about it, if they don't go to the finals, LeBron will leave.
Yeah.
I'm very confident in that. They need to at least go to the finals to secure him potentially coming back. Let's say in this hypothetical they don't. So throw in the Brooklyn pick. Brooklyn's overachieving still.
Right.
And then if LeBron leaves, you're going to get a primo first-round pick whenever that pick is, let's say like 2 years from now.
Right.
Because the Cavs are going to blow.
Yeah, it also depends on who you're surrounding yourself with in LA as well. Because there's also rumblings about DeAndre, getting rid of him as well.
Yeah, trade him.
So it depends. I mean, it depends who's around because right
trade
now,
Blake.
then there's
trade
no other
DeAndre.
names there.
Trade Lou Williams. Trade Danilo Gallinari.
Lou is awesome, man.
He is awesome. Get a return for him. Because again, he's overachieving right now.
But why
Good
get a
player,
return? Get who you have. Are you trying to win, or are you just trying to get in a bunch of new guys and then have 3 more years of futility?
Who's in the Western Conference?
The Golden State Warriors
and
and the Rockets, and well, not right now. The Thunder sometimes.
And
everyone else that's good.
And the Spurs.
Yeah. And the
so
Spurs.
where do the Clippers fit
And eventually the Lakers
formula?
are back too. They're coming back soon. They will be back soon.
All right. As of right now, the Clippers are nowhere near any of those teams.
Right.
The one thing that you should not do in the National Basketball Association is be average, because then you're picking in the high teens.
Yep.
Don't make the playoffs. Blow it up.
But sometimes
Seriously.
you find some gems in the high teens that people forget.
Sometimes, sure. But you know what I'd rather take my chances on? Top 3.
Yeah, depending on who's in that class. I don't know who's the best looking one in the class.
Right now, there's like 3.
But you got to surround these draft picks with people that can play ball, not just rookies and second-year players.
What would you do if you were running the Clippers? Tell us in the comments section below. And subscribe to 2IT Sports because...
Because I'm here.
Sure.